This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather Ho there, it's Jeff Gunner Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy for today, November the 3rd, is a former NFL safety who did well for 14 seasons playing in the NFL. He was an icon for the Green Bay Packers, and then he went to Minnesota and New Orleans, winning a Super Bowl title with the Saints. He's top 10 in interceptions and has the most defensive touchdowns in the NFL right now. Unfortunately, though, he's in jail for some very bad things to do with taking women across various states. Well, doing things to women across various states, and now he's in prison for 20 years. I know this is bad, and I actually did not know about this guy before I committed to making a birthday boy. But remember, this is the last year I'm doing Sports Catastrophe, so it's okay. It's all good. Anyway, this man is Darren Sharper, who is now 49 years old. Sharper was born on November 3rd, 1975 in Richmond, Virginia, having two older siblings. He was named to the honor roll in high school, had perfect attendance in 3 of his 4 years, and was active in the Foreign Language Club and the Student Council. His high school put him on their Wall of Fame in 93, but following the allegations being hit on him, all his memorabilia was removed. He went to the College of William and Mary, playing for the William and Mary Tribe football team. He primarily played quarterback at high school, but practically he wanted to be quarterback at William and Mary. But his college coach said that he had a better chance to join the NFL as a defensive back. And so he did. He was named All-American Honors twice. He picked off 10 passes and helped the Yankee Conference for the record. He had 24 career interceptions and the most punt return yards. Unfortunately, though, his records will be tainted because of you-know-what, off-the-field things. So, anyway, the Packers were their second-round pick, 60th overall in 97, and I believe the last pick of the second round, if I'm to remember correctly. Yep, was selected. Yeah, second round, 60th overall by the Packers. Sharper's brother Jamie would be selected by the Ravens, 34th overall. That was kind of weird how Jamie got a better draft pick than Darren, but that's okay. So Sharper competed to be the starting free safety alongside veteran Eugene Robinson, who was with the Packers at that time. Sharper was named the backup free safety to Robinson to end the season. He would make his first ever tackle for the Packers against the Vikings in Week 4, and actually had a pick 6 against the Lions in Week 10 of 97, but they still lost. So he did what he could and all that. But against the Bills, he went supernova. He picked off a pass from Alex Van Pelt and ran it back for a touchdown, helping the Packers win. That was his 3rd defensive touchdown of the year and broke the Packers record for that mark. His 3 defensive touchdowns were now tied for the Packers' all-time record with Herb Adderley from 1964. So he didn't start, but he got 3 defensive pick sixes, defensive touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He was on the Packers team that won the NFC Central at 13-3. Beat Tampa and San Francisco to get to Super Bowl 32, but shockingly lost to the Broncos by 7 points. This one's for John. This one wasn't for Darren. So anyway, Sharper entered training camp slated as a free safety, working alongside Leroy Butler, as Eugene Robinson would soon go to Atlanta, and of course we all know about his problems pre-Super Bowl. Regardless of that, he made his first career start in the Packers' home opener against the Lions and made 3 tackles. He had 10 combined tackles on October 15th against the Lions in Week 7. He started all 16 games, but he had 73 combined tackles. The Packers made the playoffs. He actually had 4 tackles, deflected a pass, made a sack, forced a fumble, and made a pick when the Packers beat the Niners in the wildcard game 25-15. So regardless of that, yeah, they lost the next game, but it didn't matter. So then, Mark Holmgren had accepted the GM head coaching position with the Seahawks, making Ray Rhodes the new Packers coach. And he was retained as a starting safety. He had 113 combined tackles, which was a new career high. But Ray Rhodes would only last 1 year in Green Bay. So the Packers announced Seattle coordinator Mike Sherman as their new head coach / GM. And he was still a starting safety. Trevor made 2 interceptions against the Cardinals in Week 4. And was part of the 2001 Pro Bowl, which was good. He had 9 interceptions. Highest in the NFL. Trevor would be given a 6-year, $30 million contract, aka $5 million a year. And would make 6 interceptions in the 2001 season. So he knew what to do in a sense. Well, the Packers did not have Leroy Butler. He decided to retire due to his shoulder injury. So Marcus Anderson was made strong safety, and Sharper was the free safety. Unfortunately, he had a couple of weeks off with a hamstring injury. He was announced to the 2003 Pro Bowl, though. So, anyway, 2003, he had 83 tackles, 5 interceptions, and 2 sacks. He made 11 tackles for the Packers in their overtime win over the Seahawks in the wildcard game. He deflected 2 passes against the Eagles, but they lost on that play that the Eagles converted to 4th and 26. He was still free safety for the Packers in 2004, having 4 interceptions and 3 of them pick sixes. So he tied the franchise record of 3 defensive touchdowns. He said himself. Sharper was asked in March 2005 to take a pay cut. He refused and got released. By releasing him, the Packers avoided paying him $2.6 million in bonuses and $3.4 million in salary cap space. He was 5th in Packers history with 36 interceptions in 8 years with the team and 7 pick sixes. Minnesota jumped on Sharper and to stick it to their NFC North rivals, signing him to a 4-year, $10 million contract. He was the starting free safety for the Vikings and made 9 combined tackles against the the Buccaneers. Sharper actually had a pick 6 when he got one by Brian Greasy. He was given a couple of games off because of his quads. He had a pick 6 against the Giants in Week 10 and got to the 2006 Pro Bowl. So, anyway, in the 2006 season, he had 4 interceptions. In 2007, he still was with the Vikings and got named to the 2008 Pro Bowl. 4 interceptions will help you, too. His 4th year in Minnesota, he finished with 5 pass deflections and an interception. So for his 4-year career with the Vikings, he had 18 interceptions and 3 touchdowns. The Vikings didn't want to pay him, and the Saints decided to pick him up for a 1-year, $1 million contract. He was the starting free safety for the Saints defense that included Roman Harper, Jabari Greer, and Tracy Porter. He made 2 interceptions off of Matthew Stafford as the Saints beat the Lions 45-27. And then he had a pick 6 against Kevin Kolb and the Eagles. And then he got a touchdown against the Jets in Week 4. A pick 6 off of Mark Sanchez. And then had a pick 6 against the Dolphins and John Henne in Week 7. After an interception against Josh Freeman in Week 16 and the Bucs, Sharper set the record for most interception yardage of 376 yards. That interception made him 6th on the all-time list. He got picked to the 2010 Pro Bowl. The Saints were the top team in the NFC South, got a bye, took on Arizona in the divisional round, and Sharper did okay. And then Sharper would make 11 combined tackles against his former team, the Vikings, in the NFC title game, which far threw it away, kind of. Sharper made 3 tackles against the Colts in Super Bowl 44. And that was when his fellow defensive backfield member, Tracy Porter, made a pick 6 off of Peyton Manning and helped the Saints win the Super Bowl. During the offseason, he had microfracture surgery and was an unrestricted free agent. He went to Jacksonville, but it didn't work out, and the Saints re-signed Shepard to a 1-year, $2.25 million contract. Unfortunately, he missed the first 6 weeks of the 2010 season, but injuries would just hurt him. He would only make 8 appearances with the Saints that year, 16 tackles. And he tried out with Denver, New England, and Green Bay without a contract offer. He decided to announce his retire after 14 years, 63 interceptions, 6 all-time. He had 11 pick sixes, which actually ties him with Charlie Woodson and one back of Rod Woodson, who has 12. Well, Sharper had 11 pick sixes, but he also had 2 fumble returns for touchdowns. That makes it 13 defensive touchdowns, which ties him with the Woodsons. Sharper had a job with the NFL Network in 2012, but unfortunately those allegations ruined him in 2014. He lost that job. He lost a lot of things and all that. It was removed for the William Mary Flex Hall of Fame. Sharper did plead guilty in serving 20 years in prison as of right now. He was eligible for induction to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but practically that photos were actually prohibited from taking off-field issues into account. However, he has never progressed beyond nomination in the voting process, probably because of his off-the-field troubles. Man, dude would have been in the Super Bowl. Would have been probably in the Pro Football Hall of Fame by like 2020. Anyway, Green Bay, Minnesota, New Orleans, 205 games, 63 picks, including 11 for pick sixes. Yeah. He had a lot of things going for him and all that. So he was charged with crimes in California, Louisiana, Arizona, and Nevada. Anyway. So he has had so many problems and incarcerated. He's in Miami and is scheduled to be released in late 2028 with time served and other things and all that. So unfortunately for Darren Sharper, his career is going to be always marred by those things he did to those women. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond.